Hello everybody, welcome back to Brotherhood Plays Fishing Planet. I'm Ryan, and I'm still in Texas. Essentially, what I've decided is that I want you guys to take this journey with me. I've been I jumped in, I was catching a few fish, or trying to catch a few fish. This is the first one I was able to catch. I've only been here 9 minutes though, so not terribly long time. And I thought, I need another $1,000 before I can go to Colorado. And I'm excited to go out there because they have trout out there. And those of you who've been watching the videos know that trout fishing is something I'm really excited to do. Actually, I want to do some fly fishing, but they don't necessarily have that in the game just yet. But the idea of catching a trout is sort of my goal here. So we're on a road to the rainbow, essentially. Road to the rainbow trout. And I thought, well, instead of just sitting here by myself and casting, let's invite you along and see if you can help me do this. So I've decided I'm going to try to get, my goal here is 10 pounds worth of fish. Okay, I want 10 pounds worth of fish and see how much money that makes me. So we're gonna stay right here until we get that. Now, the other thing I was thinking is that I'm probably gonna change my line over to the new line we bought in the last episode. Just because this one, when it gets to 50%, we'll do that, I guess. Yeah, and I think we're going to fast forward to the time in the evening when the fish are going to be biting, and make that happen. So, just want to say thanks for checking us out. If you haven't given the video if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Leave a comment down below. Tell us who you are and what you're doing, and what you hope to get out of Fishing Planet, or if you have any suggestions on what we should be doing differently. I feel like, we spend a lot of time in Texas. Excuse me. I gotta get my coffee to the right side of the table. We spend a lot of time in Texas, and I understand that. But it's a bit of a grind there. Once you get to a certain level, I'm assuming you probably go to the other locations. But we just gotta earn some of that money. We gotta earn some of that money. So you always have the potential to use real money, in your Steam wallet, in this case, to buy access to other things. But to me, that takes a little bit away. It takes a little bit of the accomplishment part of it. I know I've put money in it before, so I'm not going to say that I'm holier than thou by any stretch of the imagination. But I just would like to try to find a place in this game of equilibrium. And in the most recent patch, the 0.7.2, they have I think I had a fish there. Either that or it just came out of the water, sort of funny. I'm not sure. 0.7.2, they have reduced the price of some of that stuff and rebalanced some of the tackle prices. So that's the current patch we're playing on right now. So I know that they're trying to find a nice equilibrium where they can still get paid and still give people an enjoyable experience. I'm still having fun. I still have fun with the game. If I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't play it. I'll be honest. I'm not that disciplined of a gamer. I'm not that big of a completist. You see, people who have to, get all the achievements or unlock all the unlocks or get 1,000% in the game, or real platinum goals and stuff like that. Or that's not me. I'm really not me. My game time is limited as an adult with a job and a husband, with a wife and a dad with children. So if I'm not having fun doing what I'm doing, then I'm not going to do it, mainly just because that's not how I want to spend my time. The video games are games. They're not my job. So I'm still having a good time, and you can tell because I'm still playing it. Little sip of coffee this morning. Little lift and drop. Big plans today. I'm going to go hang out at my parents' house. My kids spent the night over there last night. My wife and I went and seen a movie. I think I talked about it in another video, but it's always good to take that time to spend time with your significant other. Regardless how busy and hectic life becomes. Alright, Sure, we'll keep you. On our way to 10 pounds. There we go, over 2.5 already. Or about 2.5 already. You know, that stuff's important for your adult relationships. Continue to cultivate them and express, you know, interest in each other's day and hobbies, and just enjoy being with one another. We had a nice dinner and watched an okay movie. Just spent time. Talked a little bit about the stuff we're doing on YouTube. That's fun, and how Noah's helping, and the things that I'm learning, the skills I'm acquiring by making videos daily. Some time management stuff that is not eluded me thus far, but you know, I have had to create a calendar, a Google Calendar, to sort of help me keep track of what I'm doing. Some picture tricks, I guess, to get around to make the thumbnails and things like that. It's been good. It's nice. It's a nice evening. Crack jokes at other people's expenses. That's always good too. That's something you can do with your spouse. Maybe you can't do it. Some of your friends, you don't want them to think a certain way about you, but your spouse, you can crack jokes all you want. And we did too. There was a ton of kids in the movie theater. Some of them, they just got grown up to do. We were all that way, I'm sure, at that age, but woo, I'm sure my kids will be right there with them at some point. But there is this weird sort of age, and I could, you know, I'm not speaking of this out of indifference. I can remember being this age, where you just sort of feel like you got it all figured out, like you know the way your world works. And I bet there's probably been thousands of psychology books written on this topic, but you sort of know the way your world works, so you just assume everyone's world sort of conforms within your world. And since you know everything about your world, then you know everything about the world. And again, I'm not speaking out of malice or anger or anything of that sort. It's more humor than anything else. It is crazy to think that everyone who's older than, let's say, 30. Oh. I thought we had a fish. We had something there. Anyone who's over the age of 30 has sort of, you know, I think by the time you're 30, you sort of figure out the world is much bigger than what you are. There are things that you're going to encounter that you don't know the answer to. You know, I get to points in my life where I'm mystified sometimes by my parents. Like, how did they just know to do this or know to do that? Because now I'm at that age with kids, and I don't know to do that. But I think you just sort of realize, or you understand that nobody has the answers, and you're just going to do the best that you can do. And I need to increase my reel speed, I think, because we weren't getting a lot of drop. There we go. That's still too fast. I don't know. Something to do with my clicking, maybe. Oh, that was wrong. Wrong finger. You get to a certain age where you're just going to do your best, and you're going to make it work, and you're going to sort of accept the consequences and move on. But as a child, you don't realize that's what your parents are doing. As a kid, as a teenager, you don't realize that's what adults are doing. You just sort of assume that they're like you, like that they've got their world figured out, and everyone's world conforms to your world. And so when you feel or think something that's going to happen, and it does, well, then it just basically reinforces that you know everything, that you know enough. I don't want to say know everything, because that's a know-it-all sort of statement, but it's but I would say that there comes a time in everyone's life when they're like 30, 35, when they're like, okay, I didn't, maybe even 20, 25, to be honest. I didn't know everything. I really didn't know anything, and now I'm having to sort of struggle to figure out how to adult. But it's still funny to me when you see teenagers or you know older preteens or teenagers who are living in their world like they've got it figured out, and they just know it. They know it all. And you want to look at them and be like, every person on this planet has been your age before. Everyone who's older than you, everyone who is older than you has been your age before. And we all had our own worlds figured out. But then we realized that the world itself is much larger than our own world. And it was a scary moment. So it's part of your growth, it's part of your youth to sort of have this young, sort of inborn confidence. But man, you could learn a lot if you just paid attention right now. Like you could definitely improve your lot in life if you were just, you know, talked less and listened more. But we never do. We never do. It never happens. All teenagers are like, well, I'm sure they thought they had it figured out, but and I said I was the same way, you know. I didn't listen to adults either. I thought I had it figured out. I didn't need their help. I had my world figured out. That's all that mattered. Yeah. I mean, it's about silly things too. I'm not talking about hardcore things, but just like movie references. Last night, it's funny to hear him talk. But it's alright. I mean, if you're a teenager, you're watching a video, hey, thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. And I hope maybe what I said resonated with you a minute when I said that, you know, we were all that age once. We all had the exact same feelings. We all had the exact same thoughts. And trust me when I say that it either gets better or at least you learn from it. I'm not assuming that it's bad, I guess is what I'm saying when I say it gets better. We all you just age up. You age up, you age out. And then you enter a new phase in your life where you go from feeling like you know everything to where you feel like you know very little. And that's okay. You don't worry so much about what you don't know. At least I don't. Same logic in reverse. Everybody who's older than me has all been through this. I can do it too. As long as I don't mess up my kids in the process. Which is a whole different ball of wax. A whole different concern. Not catching any fish. And I know I said we was going to time travel. And we are. We will. Come on. We are. We will. I don't know. I got on a rambling. Got to be talking like an old man on the front porch. Oh. And just when I said we weren't catching very many fish, we caught us a little something. I don't know if you noticed there, but I'm trying to do much better. When we were first catching fish, we lost a lot of fish because we weren't keeping the line tight. So you want to make sure you kind of keep the line tight. Kind of go the opposite direction that the fish is going, if you can. And if you're noticing that we're like not keeping a lot of, you can always pick up the rod tip to switch to the other side. You don't want to keep the rod tip up all the time because then you sort of, it's like boost in a race car game. That's sort of how I'm thinking of it. You know, like you don't want to use your boost all the time. You want to use it when you need it, because that's going to add extra tension to your line. But like right now, I get to a situation where I can't add any more tension, so I need to get myself to a point where I can re-add tension. I can't see where he's at. Okay, here he is, 20, 29, 30 feet out, 20, 32 feet out. He's rushing the shore, so we're just going to come back this direction. Oh, line tension was low. He's swimming right towards me. There we go, we got him out of the water. Can we reel him up? Yeah, another spotted bass. These are nice. These are almost 2 pounds. Let's take a look. All right, look at that. Beautiful fish. I think so. See, right button to examine the fish. I was holding the X button, but I guess the right button works too. Okay, we're gonna keep. What's it put us up to? 4.2, almost halfway of our 10-pound challenge today. Let's see. Do we want to try a different location? You know, I hate to move when I'm catching fish. I hate to mess anything up when I'm catching fish. So we'll throw another cast out here. If we don't catch fish or don't get any activity on this cast, then I promise we're going to time travel. I promise we're going to time travel. Sort of selfishly, I'm delaying. I know that. Because if I can catch fish here, then when I'm not catching fish, I know that I can time travel. Yep. That's my thought process. Lift and drops moving. Ah, wrong finger. Oh, look at it. Oh, man. It must really come up there. There must be a bit of a, it must really get deep fast. Which would make sense for what we see when we're bobber fishing, I guess. Must really come up fast. Let's see if we can snake this between the weeds and the shore. Right along the dam. Should be pretty deep. Yeah. So far, so good. So far, so good. Got a nice lift and drop coming. Oh. That was a good. See? I knew it. I knew it. Come on. Keep the line tight. Man, you come right up on the shore. I couldn't reel in fast enough. Nice spotted bass. Let's see. It's going to put us over 5 pounds. We are well over halfway. Now we're over halfway. It was a little premature to say we was halfway before. Okay, we'll go to this side of the weeds. So far, so good. I didn't eat breakfast this morning. I know these videos come out about noon or later, but me, I'm recording them kind of early in the morning. Didn't eat breakfast this morning. Getting a little bit hungry. See, I feel like I should go make me a bologna and cheese sandwich, leave it out on the counter for about 2 hours, and then eat it while I'm fishing, because that was the lunch of choice when we go fishing as kids. We'd already be up camping at the lake and grab a quick sandwich, throw it in a baggie, wrap it up in aluminum foil. We always had a lot of aluminum foil. Wrap it up in aluminum foil, which there's something. Not the greatest probably material, but we'd always have this little bitty cooler. We wouldn't use a lot of ice, but throw a couple sandwiches in it. Throw a lot of little Debbie snacks. I don't know if everybody knows little Debbie snacks, like little oatmeal cookies, oatmeal cream cookies or whatever. Some Twinkies or Ding Dongs. Super health food, you know. And then we would pedal out north in the park. There's a lake out there. That had some fishing ponds and stuff, or fishing piers. And some Fago, which was always the pop of choice at the campground, and an old brown canteen we got from the zoo, full of the nastiest water you could think of, because it came from the water fountain at the campground. And those bologna and cheese sandwiches, which would be essentially warm by the time we eat them, because we wouldn't put a lot of ice in the cooler. And we'd fish. It's good times. It's good times. Probably my favorite fishing story from when I was a kid was at the same campground. It was a reservoir, which is a flood-controlled area. So if we got a lot of water or rain, the depths were never the same. Well, we could always fish at the ponds, no problem. But my dad would fish in the reservoir with the boat. And my brother would go out with him sometimes in the morning. I'd go out sometimes in the afternoon. I wasn't as much of a morning person as my brother and my dad was, but one year it rained a lot, and the reservoir was really high up, and I'm guessing we were probably like 13 and 10. There's 3 years apart between the two of us. No, I don't think I was 13, but we were fairly young. Maybe I was 10. I was probably about 10. I have a picture. I have a picture of it, so I'm remembering the bicycle and the haircut. I'd say I was probably 10. And we actually took like our fins and face masks and was doing like, because so much of the park was flooded that what? No, I can't, but what's up? Okay. Give me 1 second here, and then I was talking to Angie there, but so much of the park was flooded that we were like scubaing. Like there was a whole section of the campground that was just like had 2 or 3 foot of water in it. We were sort of scuba. We called it scuba. It was more like snorkeling, I guess, over the park, and it was kind of cool because you normally a reservoir like that's so muddy you can't see anything, but because it was green grass at the bottom and pavement and asphalt and so forth, it was a good time. So I'll be right back. Okay, took a little. I don't even know if you could even tell once I get them spliced together. Took a pause it real quick there. Have a quick conversation with Angie, my wife, which means really close to the end of the video anyway. So I probably could have just not come back, but I don't like to leave without saying goodbye. I mean, that's not fun. And I want to get 10 pounds. It's not going to be in this video, but I will definitely get it in the next one, I'm sure. I'm just trying to. I'm just gonna make plans for the day. Figure out what's going on. I gotta go to work, got some papers to grade. That's right, kids. The teachers have to work more than just on Monday through Friday. I got papers to grade, got plans I'd like to flesh out for 2 weeks from now. I got next week's plans done. But I like to be about 7 days ahead when it comes to plans, just in case I have to make copies or create something on the computer or anything else. PowerPoints. I don't use PowerPoints. I use Google Slides. I use Google Drive for everything. I'm actually a certified Google instructor. Yeah, that's right. I should put that on my YouTube channel header there. No, not really. But we recently switched over to Chromebooks at our school, and a couple of teachers, well, me and myself and one other teacher had a little extra training to help the rest of the teachers. And it's been an experience. It's been 2 years now. I've learned a lot, but I've always been a big fan of Google Drive. There we go. I'm gonna take a drink while I'm catching this fish. I love switching my microphone over. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Come on, fishing. Come on. 20, 17. I'm gonna say pick it up, but it picked itself up. All right, there we go. And with that, 7.7 pounds. I'm gonna call it a day, and we're gonna catch the rest of this 10 pound. Maybe I'll go further. Maybe I caught 7 pounds this episode. Maybe I catch another 7 pounds next episode. That's 14 pounds in the keep net, and that would be huge for us to gain some money. But we're gonna call it quits right now, and I'll be back on, what would this be? Friday? Be back on Friday for another episode of Fishing Planet. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to be notified when there's new episodes. Give a like. That's hugely helpful when trying to spread the word on people who haven't seen Fishing Planet yet. And also, leave a comment down below if anything I talked about today struck your fancy. By all means, let's strike up a conversation about it. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, either way, it's great. I try not to take anything personal, so that's fine. You can even give a dislike if you want. It's all okay. Talk to you guys later, and we'll see you next time. Bye.